Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all give me 1 second. I'm trying to set up some other stuff real quick. Y'all give me just 1 second. Give y'all time to come in before I start going hard in the paint. And I'm the only person watching the video. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me set everything up for you, for myself, brother. Because it's going to go down, y'all. Oh, yeah, it's going to go down. I have not been here in a while to give you all the real news behind the news. In other words, the real news behind that propaganda that they're showing you on television. So y'all give me just 1 second. And I'm going to make sure that we are up and rolling. I'll put it on Facebook real quick. Let me share. How y'all doing this evening? We got two viewers right now. Please, I thank y'all for joining me on a Saturday evening. Afternoon. Y'all could have been anywhere on the planet, but you're here watching this crazy Negro. Finna bring y'all some real truth. How is it that we got a baby formula shortage here in America, but they just said 40, well, they're about to send 40 billion. And then just to add the other 14 million, they're about to send over $50 billion, 50 billion with a B, boys and girls, to the Ukraine. But we got a baby formula shortage here in America. Abortion is the big issue that everybody's talking about on television, on the news, but they're not showing you the highest gas prices, inflation in the grocery store, shortages everywhere, including baby formula. Ladies, that's why you got breast and mammary glands and all that. Breastfeed your children. We should have been doing that a long time ago. But anyway, y'all give me a second. It's going to go down now. All right. Let's see. Y'all give me 1 second. It's about to go down, y'all, live on YouTube. Click on the link below to catch this broadcast. Period. I guarantee you, you'll never look at that fake news on your television again. Y'all give me 1 second. Yeah, as y'all come in on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the leave a comment, just say hello and where you from, because I'm looking at the analytics, man. We got people from all over the world. Not bragging, but that is one reason why I keep doing what I'm doing, because of you all. It's not because this is bringing me financial success. No, what I am trying to do is bring you all information, keep you all updated as to what is really going on. See, you got to understand, with your mainstream media news, they cannot tell you the truth. They cannot, based upon the way that they're set up. Your mainstream media, and we go back to Operation Mockingbird and all these other covert operations where the CIA and other government entities corrupted your media by I guess you could say infiltrating your media to the point now that your media is controlled by the military industrial complex, the pharmaceutical complex, the medical industrial complex, the prison industrial complex. All these major corporations control your media. You know how? Through sponsorship. This is how your CNN, your Foxes, your New York Post, your Washington Times, all your major media corporations, y'all, are controlled by 6 people. Meaning that you might have thousands of choices to get your so-called news from, but those thousands of different channels, newspapers, or radio stations are controlled by 6 people, which means those 6 people, in order to make a profit, have to get sponsors. So again, they go to the military industrial complex, the pharmaceutical complex, the medical industry. They go to all these different corporations and get sponsorship. This is why you see the commercials that you see when you're watching the news. If you're watching a national news broadcast, I guarantee you the first commercial that you will see when they go for commercial break is going to be a pharmaceutical company. It's going to be someone like Boeing or Raytheon who makes weapons that fly. So they cannot tell you the truth because Pfizer, Moderna from pharmaceutical industrial complex needs your nightly news to tell you to let them stick a needle in your arm for a vaccination. Oh man, this thing is so deep. But me, I don't get no sponsorship. Hell, even the people that subscribe to this channel, a lot of them have contributed to the advancement of this channel to the point I'm here today. But it's not enough for me to do what I would love to do with this channel. So I'm just taking it upon myself and do what needs to be done with this channel, which is be consistent and bring y'all the real news behind it. So now we went from 3 to 1 viewer. And again, I don't fault the subscribers of this channel because I have not been consistent. But when I do drop this video, it's going to be so hot that even YouTube through the analytics not going to be able to stop it. Let's talk about Roe versus Wade. What's really going on with this thing about the Supreme Court's leaked? Whoever leaked that draft needs to be in prison. They need to be sitting right there next to those people that in jail right now for the January 6th insurrection. You would mean to tell me somebody leaked a document from one of the justices of the Supreme Court? Now you have all these people riding anarchy, in a sense, in front of Supreme Court justices' residence with intentions to threaten or intimidate them into changing what might be the final decision. Basically, they're using intimidation to force the Supreme Court to rule in the direction that they want, which is everybody can kill their babies on demand. First and foremost, let me tell y'all something. There's nothing in the United States Constitution at all about abortion. And all those 26 amendments or all those articles of the Constitution, nothing says anything about abortion, baby killing in the United States Constitution. And guess what? It was almost 400 years ago when they wrote the Constitution. No, it was not an issue then. In 70, so I forget what it was, but 50 years ago, when Roe versus Wade was created, it was basically a federal law that was written into existence to allow abortion. But what the Supreme Court is saying is that they're not going to overturn the woman's right to have an abortion, but they were going to drop it back down and give the states, each individual of the 50, each individual states here in America, 50 states. Now it goes back to the state and it would be a state issue, meaning the federal government can't regulate, rule, or dictate on this issue. It has to be done by the states. Meaning, if if they say, well, we're just going to overturn this Roe versus Wade, take it from the federal level back to the state level, that means you all should be protesting in front of your state representative's house as opposed to the Supreme Court, which really can't, because it's not in the Constitution. But first of all, let's go back. The only people in America right now who are worried about abortions are irresponsible people who will go out there and have sex with a nigga at the club, in the club. And I don't know if y'all ever been to Coco Palace here in Shreveport, but they were having sex everywhere in that club on the dance floor. Literally, you had people having sex on the dance floor. A couple women got raped in the bathroom, upstairs. A couple people got caught having sex. Ice cooler. They was doing all kind of stuff. And guess what? They wake up in the morning, pregnant. That's what happened 5 months later. Now, I'm going to show y'all the gift. I'm going to show y'all the game. 5 months later, she wake up pregnant after she got fucked in the club. Over there by the potato chip machine. She was laying up against the potato chip machine. Her head was up against the wall. All you can hear was. That's all you can hear. She having sex in the club and she drunk high. He drunk high. 5 months later, you got a baby in that woman's womb. Now, guess what happens? 5 months later, she can go to the and he will literally, and please, this is the procedure that they say takes place within abortion. But basically what happens, they take the baby's brain out, the baby's head through suction, and then they pull the dead fetus out of the womb. This is what the medical facts say. This is how it occurs. But guess what? In 5 months, she 5 months pregnant. She can go to that abortion clinic, get that abortion. She walks out happy. The doctor gets paid. He happy. Everybody lives happily ever after, except the baby. But they walk away scot-free. Now, on the other hand, this is where the shit gets deep, and I bet 97% of the people that's talking about this abortion shit ain't never thought about it. On the other hand, that same chick who was irresponsible and got screwed at the end of the club, when the club get ready to close, some nigga screwing her on a potato chip machine, and she is pregnant. 5 months later, she's telling that dude she wants child support and all this, and her and the dude get to scuffling, accidentally hits her in the stomach at 5 months pregnant, resulting in the termination of that child's life. Guess what? He's going to prison for murder. Even though the abortion doctor did almost the same thing, took that baby out that woman's womb, he walks away scot-free, but her and anybody else that was beefing and it caused her to have a miscarriage, that person is going to jail for murder. When do you call it what it is? And why should those of us who are responsible enough to even know that if we're going to even get in a quickie situation or one night stand, at least have a condom available? You mean tell me you can't afford a $2 condom, and she don't care that you can't afford a $2 condom, that you all will lay down and engage in an activity that will probably produce a child or STD. So that you see why STDs are on the rise every year. Everybody talking about COVID, but herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, those are untalked about issues, but have been on the rise every year for the last 5 years. So you mean tell me you have and being irresponsible and will kill that baby, but you're not being responsible enough to even think about protecting yourself from STDs? So that shows you the mentality of all these people who are supporting abortions. They are clueless They are continuing a cycle and perpetuating a culture of death. And black women in particular, do you realize we kill almost 800 some thousand babies a year? Do you realize why we are the minority in America today, even though we've been here almost 400 years? And it took place in the last 100 years when Margaret Sanger created Planned Parenthood with the specific agenda to sterilize, if not sterilize, but to hinder the black race from producing a number. Do y'all realize we supposed to have here in America as the people that what we have right now? Oh my God, thank you, Zach Owens, man. Creator be all that glory. Man, and I apologize, Brother Zach, for not being as consistent. But at times are hard for everybody. It'd be hard for me to do a lot of these videos to get out and just hustle and struggle, work my ass off on these jobs or whatever I have to do for food. But I cannot let that be an issue no more because we're getting too serious at the point of time that we're at. We got nuclear war looming at the door. We got inflation that's been downplayed because we have not seen nothing yet. But that's neither here nor there. Thank you, Brother Zach Owens. I'm going to read his comment. Zach say, what's up, my brother? Your channel keeps me going through hard times. That's what the Creator has called me to do, to bring you all real talk so you can understand. Again, getting back to abortion, they're using this to keep you, because guess what? The average motherfucker in America is not planning on getting an abortion. That only affects maybe 4% of 300 million people in America. So that means we just gonna say only 40 million people really give a fuck about abortion. The other 60% are giving all their attention to the fact that these gas prices are going up, that inflation is causing food that was $2 or a half a pound last week to be $7 for this week. What we're looking at is the greatest distraction in this country's history from the fact, excuse me, that your government is totally corrupt, bought out. Put it like this: they're not just so much corrupt; they're being bribed. There are secrets that your government officials, your senators, your congressmen have that cannot be put out because they done did some shit somewhere in their career, whether it be with Jeffrey Epstein. Again, y'all got to go back and realize how important Jeffrey Epstein really was, because he controlled your government on the behalf of Israelis by getting your politicians and entertainers and public figures in compromising situation with children, which allowed the Israeli government to blackmail your congressmen and senators here. All right, now you look at it, the corporations, the military industrial complex here in America, Boyd and Raytheon, Philip Northrop, all these people that make weapons of war, guess what? They're saying they're sending those billions of dollars to the Ukraine. Guess what? Of that 50 billion that they just, the 40 billion that they just signed in the House, it goes to the Senate, which is going to probably pass unless Rand Paul works for this. Yeah. The ruble is anyway. Let me stay on point because I have a tendency to just spin out. I want to get into a logical discussion on multiple issues in a systematic way. I don't do nothing with a script, and I want you all to comment and I'm gonna read you all comment, and I'm gonna relate it as to how things play as I go down this script that I got in my head. The total the value of the dollar is worthless, and that's because of the sanctions with Russia. That's because, first and foremost, your dollar is nothing more than a scam. It's what you call a fiat currency, meaning that it's printed by the Federal Reserve, which is not a part of your federal government, but a group of bankers who, under the Federal Reserve Act in 1912 with Woodrow Wilson, created that motherfucking entity called the Federal Reserve. He gave the Federal Reserve, which is a bunch of private bankers, the ability to print and regulate the currency in America. Meaning now that no longer is your currency backed by something like gold or silver or grain, something, a stable commodity. All these white boys have been doing is printing pieces of fucking paper, loaning it to your government, and your government pays it back at interest through our tax dollars. Now, our tax dollars, to the tune of $40 billion just in this one bill that's going to go to the Senate, right? Of that 40 billion, at least 30 of that 40 billion is going to Philip Northrup, Raytheon, Boeing, people that make bombs to send to the Ukraine when you don't even have food here in America to feed your fucking babies. You have almost 20 million people through homeless. You can end homelessness in America for 30 billion. They say 25 billion. But we're sending that to the Ukraine to fight a war that they cannot win. We are being distracted from the fact that Ukrainian citizens are being slaughtered with every weapon that we're sending over there. The Ukrainian citizens are dying, not just because so much as Vladimir Putin and the Russians are evil, it's because instead of sending peace talks diplomats, we're sending weapons that Russia is blowing up, and in the process causing human casualties at the same time. We're taking taxpayers' dollars from here in America, where taxpayers are facing food price hikes to feed the people in the Ukraine who would not have to worry about going hungry if we were not sending fucking weapons to that country, which is giving Russia the legitimacy to blow those weapons up. Your government is openly talking about we're in a proxy war with Russia. They're trying to weaken Russia, and how they're doing that by sending weapons to the Ukraine to fight a war, again, that the Ukrainians can't win. And more hardship on the rest, especially in Europe, because are getting their oil and gas cut off. Man, this shit's crazy. I get a little bit deeper, but bear with me. I'm gonna try to catch you all up in this video, and then come back a little bit later and bring to finish off what I couldn't do. Y'all give me 1 second. All right, y'all. I apologize for that. Um, lost what the train thought I was. I tell you what, y'all. Something just came up. I have to go and break in for about 15, 20 minutes to take care of this. I guarantee you all I'll be back in about 15. The fuck is it? About 15 minutes, man. I gotta go take care of this. This is referring to something serious in my personal life. Y'all give me a second, man. I'm gonna come back with the rest of this. And I won't be interrupted, but I guarantee y'all I will come back.